Hey, hey. Finally got this thing freaking figured out. Sorry for that delay, guys. Simple mistake, I found out. Anyway, today's topic was originally uh, vigilante justice. Whether or not it's a good thing or not, or should be. Let me get it set up here with the other streams. There we go. Again, I apologize for the delay with the minor technical issues. Hey, Dina. Thanks for jumping in. Not going to be a long show tonight. Just wanted to discuss this a little bit. Yo, Danielle. How you doing, Danielle? Yeah, you guys know what I'm getting at. I think you do. I posted a couple things on it earlier today. Let me see. I want to share it right on here. Second to find this real quick. Basically, it's a story of a couple of brothers that decided to take justice in their own hands when their father was discovered that their father was abusing their little 8-year-old sister. And yeah, here it is. Oh, stepfather. Sorry. That was their father. Not that it should make a difference, right? Give me a second here while I share the link with you guys. So this came up. So these two here left, the guys on the left and in the middle are brothers. And the third guy is just their friend or best friend. I don't know what kind of friend he is. And they're accused of beating their stepfather, 42 years old, left him to die. They said he had blunt force trauma to his head and other parts of his body. And pretty much he died from his injuries. The little girl was 9 years old. They found out she was being abused by him, according to what the little girl was saying. So they're half brothers to her. That's what it says here. And they became enraged. And, I mean, wouldn't you too, right? You find out your sibling or your kid, or for that matter. I mean, do you blame them? I don't blame them necessarily. But like I discussed with a few people earlier today online, it's like, beat them. Freaking beat them nasty. But don't go too far as to kill, because I know most people, I don't know, maybe it's a cultural thing, depending on where you are in the country, depending what state you're in. For the most part, they might be seen as heroes. Did us a favor, You know, they were going to put the guy in prison for years and we're going to feed him and keep him alive. But instead, they took it to the extreme, and I'm kind of torn on this one. Yeah, and I'll tell you why. I'm okay with them. You know what? Crime of passion. This would be considered a crime of passion. I get it, Danielle. I totally get it. Pedophiles are fair game. And I don't know. I might have done the same thing. And maybe you guys all would have done the same thing also. I know somebody recognized my the little advertisement for this thing. Yes, that's Charles Bronson, Death Wish. That's right. Good series, by the way. Anyway, the problem I have... Hey, Hilda, welcome. The problem I have is the third guy, the friend, who jumped in on this also. You know, the way I see it, this was between the two brothers and the family. Maybe they were just so enraged that they didn't think to tell him, hey, you know what? We got this. Don't worry about it. So that third guy, even if, you know, everybody is even if they're going to give him a pass to the two brothers, will they give the third guy a pass necessarily? Meaning that he wasn't family. I don't know. I think that guy should have minded his own business. Maybe, perhaps, even tried to stop it. It's one of those things that are like, yeah, crime of passion. You know, it's happening. You just happen to, you just jump in. You know, you get what's that mob mentality, right? So the reality is, it was a murder, and these kids. Well, I'm not going to say kids. They're 18, I believe. Take a look. Blunt force trauma. Let's see. Yeah, all are 18 years old. So the reality is that they are looking at life in prison, and this is Texas. You know, death penalty is a strong possibility here. They hand those out like they're giving out candy. Troy says, you hurt my children, I'm coming for you. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. But, you know, there are some countries out there where you can do that, take justice into your own hands, kill the guy, string him up to a tree, and they won't even come and say, you know, tell us what happened. They won't even visit you. It's just, yep, he did what he had to do. But not in this country. This is someone will always be looking out for any victim, right? For as wrong as this guy was to do that. Not trying to pass culpability, but where was the mother? Article states it wasn't first incident child abuse. See, and that's a whole other animal right there. Where was the mother? Where was the family? Why was this abuse? I don't know. I mean, who knows how and why this stuff happens? I don't know why it happens. Dude is a freaking perv. Not right in his head. And, but I don't know. Sometimes you know, those cases where you don't believe the child, right? You've heard that? Kids sometimes make stuff up. I've heard that. Not cool, right? Touchy subject. It's horrible for a kid to accuse somebody of that, especially this, which is like a no joke kind of a thing. So how do you deal with that? That's not easy. Danielle, I've never heard of a pedophile ring rehabilitated by jail time. No, of course not. You know, as you know, I watch Ben Shapiro, and he's very strong on, you know, pedophiles and abusers should be castrated and or killed. Maybe both, you know. But I guess you'd have to hear the whole story. We'd have to really hear what happened. And this, yeah, spur of the moment. Did all this happen like they found out, and then 30 seconds later they're running into the house grabbing the guy, and then they're beating the crap out of him in the backyard, then they go dump him somewhere? If all that happened just like that, you're enraged. You'd have to give them, I don't know, I would give them a pass. I think I would. Who knows who else that guy might have molested or whatever in the neighborhood, in the family even, right? Again, not that there's evidence of it. So far, what we know now, the only evidence is of that little girl. This is serious. Yeah, it is serious. I think the cop did wrong on telling the kids of what was going on. What do you think? I think that's something for the family to discuss, not the police officer. And again, it's a very touchy subject. And I'm going to go out and say, I will say, like I said a minute ago, real quick, Juan Carlos, in the court of public opinion, they'll be found not guilty, but in the court of law, it all depends on how good a lawyer they have and how sympathetic of a jury, right? Won't be surprised if a family starts a GoFundMe page for them. Yeah. The one guy who should not have got involved is their friend, the third guy. I know he was just jumping in to be a friend, to be a best friend with the guys, right? But somebody, a wiser voice should have prevailed and said, "Yo, we got this. This is between me and my brother." So I don't think they'll have any sympathy for that guy. Dina says, I'm not sure if it's true, but one article stated that the dad had made a pass at their friend, the third guy. Oh, damn. So that third kid is now pissed off because somebody made a pass at him. A man made a pass at him. Quintanilla was allegedly assaulted a third time before being placed in the bed of a truck and dumped in the field. Police believe Quintanilla might have still been alive when the teens allegedly dumped his body. He had a warrant for continuous sexual abuse of a child. Online say Melendez is charged with engaging in organized criminal activity. Organized crime. Why would they call this organized crime? Murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and possession of a marijuana. Please, that's Christian Trevino is charged with aggravated assault, murder, and engaging in organized criminal activity. Alejandro Trevino is charged with engaging in organized criminal activity and aggravated assault. Organized crime, huh? I think that's a heavy charge to put on them. That'll probably get thrown out unless they plan this over days and something like that. Unless they planned it and not acted on it impulsively. Yeah, that's not right. But if the third guy, if he got hit on by the father, you mean? That could have set him off too. I agree. He had been molesting his daughter for quite a while. Those guys are heroes. Hey, Fausto. So, I've seen both edges of the sword. Pedophiles should be stoned to death. Yeah? With evidence. Again, 100% evidence. I've also seen girls say stuff to get their older male in trouble if they don't get what they want. Yes, I've heard of that as well. That's low. That's very low. Their rep is ruined even if someone is innocent. You're right. Once that accusation goes out, so-and-so is a pedophile, a child molester, or he likes little girls or whatever, that word gets around. And it's hard to get that to not stick, right? And yes, for men more than for women. Fair? No, well, of course it's not fair. But that's one of those things you just don't cry wolf about, because that's a very, very touchy subject and it gets very heated. I don't believe it was premeditated. Again, spur of the moment, Hilda says. Yeah, I would hope so, but if the let me see. Let's try this. Alejandro and Christian Trevino, along with their friend Juan Eduardo Melendez, all 18, are accused of beating. Okay, leaving on the field. Media reports say Quintanil's body was found. Okay, police are working up to press release. There seems to be some misinformation about this case. In a previous release, police said a child made an outcry at an RV park. Police later revealed that the child is Quintanilla's 9-year-old daughter, the victim's daughter. He was the stepfather of the two brothers. Okay, they have different mothers and are both half siblings. When they found out, they became enraged, to confront them, and then a physical fight ensued between the three. So perhaps the police told them after the fact. They didn't know, like, right away upon the arrest or whatever. I'm sure more of this will come out. But still, taking justice into your own hands. You guys remember that case of I want to say it was Ohio or Iowa. I can't remember. Guy was molesting a little boy. He was arrested. He was caught. He was arrested. The father of the boy waited in the courtroom. I was at the airport when they were transporting this guy. And the father of the boy waited with a handgun. He pretended to be on the phone. There's video. This was captured on live video. And as the police walked by with the perp, dude came off the phone, turned around, and fired a shot, killed the guy right there in the hand of law enforcement at the airport. This was captured on live TV. And I mean, that's heavy. That's heavy to take in when that happens to your family. If I read correctly, they went back to beat him even more. That's where I think they messed up. Yeah, but then again, yes, you're right. But when you're so enraged of something like that happening, man, you're not thinking straight. And that's what I mean. Between the two, it was already a problem. Both of them not thinking straight. Now you add the friend that was along with them. And instead of being the guy who's trying to tell them, yo, stop, you don't want to kill him. You don't want to kill him. Let him go to jail, whatever. Instead, he jumps in and makes everything a lot worse. So I don't feel bad for the friend. I think he should have minded his own business. But the two brothers, I mean, it's gonna be a problem, even if they do get no jail time, which I believe they will. Just a process and being locked up in the meantime, and the whole process, court and just prolonging something that, I wonder if the stepfather was a registered sex offender in the state's database. Good question. Bro, I would have Saddam Hussein that guy, piñata style. Yeah. And there's a way to do it, beat the crap out of him, slightly torture him, beat him with a bamboo cane or something like that, or a whip. I don't know. I'm not telling what you guys, I'm not saying, don't do any of that. All right. It's just, don't take it too far. Don't go too far. Because even if you are vindicated, the amount of time these guys are going to spend in the justice system is... Shonda, I came close to taking justice into my own hands when we lost my little nephew. But that's not my place. There's a legal system here and judgment in the afterlife. Yeah, I'm more worried about the afterlife judgment. Good thing you didn't do anything crazy. Hey, David. It's a very emotional case, but law is a law. We can't have Judge Dredd walking around. They should have secured the victim and called authorities. Yeah, why he wasn't jailed? Again, hopefully more of the story will come out in the next few days. But yeah, tough one. Because then you turn this around, and okay, what if this was your kid or your sister, your little sister? Would you still feel the same way, Dave? It's a tough one. God forbid that should happen. Bad decision for them, but every child molester deserves the same. 100%. I get it. I totally get it. If I was a judge, I'd be very lenient. Yeah, I would give them, maybe, like 5,000 community service hours or something like that, but don't put them in prison. Or the third friend, whatever. I don't know. Again, he should have minded his own business. But, yeah, and then you got to wonder, you got to hope, you got a sympathetic jury. The jury that's willing to go, yeah, don't be touching my kid. And, worse could have happened. Abel, think about this so we don't develop our decision-making part of the brain till after 21. This was definitely a bad decision. They should have beat his ass, tied him up, and called the cops on him. Well, apparently police knew about this already. This is after the fact. So why was he... I don't know. See, just some of it is still a little... The information is choppy. It's not all there. But it's a fascinating and impactful story. So I'm sure they wanted to get this out. Just put this out. I don't know. Would you have done the same thing? I mean, now we're talking about it and discussing it. It's easier to say, well, I wouldn't have killed him. I would have, beat the crap out of him a little bit and tie him up and let the prison system, let jails, let Bubba in prison take a hold. But would you really, though? I mean, if this actually happened, God forbid, this actually happened to one of yours, would you feel the same way? A jury of 12 or 14 mothers. Yeah. Well, you figure in a jury pool, they'd have it going their way if every one of the jurors was a parent. So when they're selecting a jury, are they going to go are y'all parents? Well, then you're all disqualified. Because doesn't that make you biased? Just being a parent? How are they going to select a jury for this? They're looking for all single people. Think about that one. It will definitely be interesting to see how it all plays out. Lots of factors to consider. Yeah, Dina, for sure. I hear these offenders get what's coming to them inside prison. And that's the other thing, too. In prison, hey, for whatever the reason that they're in prison, they don't like child abusers. And the prison system's own system, their own justice system might have done him in. And it wouldn't be the first time. You hear about this. We hear about it every year. So-and-so a child molester or a child rapist or whatever, found dead, killed in prison. Shonda, you don't know what to do, and trust me, every evil thought possible goes through your mind. You even plan it out in your mind. Just don't. It adds more strain and sorrow to your family. Very true. I couldn't now sit on a jury and be unbiased. Yeah, it's hard. If you're talking, they always ask you, do you know so-and-so? Do you know so-and-so? Do you have any relation, any family that works for so-and-so? Would you have any bias to one way or the other? In this case, if you're a parent, that makes you biased, wouldn't it? Common sense, that's what it tells me. It'd be hard to pick a jury. It really would. Law and order, my personal opinion. You mean actual law and actual order? Or are you talking about street justice? Yuri. This reminds me of the movie A Time to Kill. Now I want to watch it, right? Maybe I'll watch that tonight. Check out the Charles Bronson films, the Vigilante Charles Bronson films. What are they called? Dang it, I just had them on the tip of my tongue here. Is Death Wish. 80s, very 80s, good movies. He was raping his own 9-year-old daughter. That's like, yeah, that's, you know, there is a mental problem there for sure. Juan Carlos, missing details are cloudy of the chain of events. Texas has strict child abuse laws, but would they have been enough evidence to put the stepfather in prison? Well, now we can go back and talk about that, Melissa Lucio, the woman from Harlingen who is on death row now. They set a date for April. And she's accused of killing one of her kids. I believe the kid was 2 years old or barely 2 years old. Watch the documentary. It's on Hulu. It's called The State of Texas versus Melissa Lucio. Same thing. The kid was all bruised up, beat up. Somebody called the police one night. I mean, the kid was dead. Bruises everywhere, even internally, the kidneys and stuff. And the claim was that the kid fell down the stairs, from the second floor to the first floor outside. And you watch this documentary, she's got 8 or 9 children. And then her daughter, I think her oldest daughter, she's got 9 or 10 kids. It's like, man, that's a lot of kids. Nobody's working. Anyway, that's a whole other deeper part of that story to get into. But the claim was that the child fell down the stairs. They were blaming her for murder, that she abused the kid. Now, other kids are saying that they saw the little girl fall down the stairs. And then later in the documentary, one of her daughters said that she never felt close to that little baby. She didn't feel any warmth, any emotion towards her at all. So it really looks like maybe Melissa Lucio, the mom, was covering for somebody who might have abused the kid. You know, never thinking it was going to go to the death penalty, right? But take a look at that one. The state versus Melissa Lucio. It's sad. Bad situation. Of course, it makes you biased. Yeah, how can it not? I mean, you're a parent. Damn it. You got a parent, you got kids. You're already not eligible, right? You should not be in a jury. I wonder if that's a factor in selecting a jury. Could that be? And I'm not going to say what I would do. I know we talked about it a bit. But I think many people are law-abiding citizens. They've got level heads. Otherwise, this kind of thing would happen more often. I think so. I think it definitely would happen more often. So I don't feel bad for the dude and the father. A-hole. He had it coming. He was going to get it. Whether it was before prison or in prison, he was going to get it. So now these guys' lives are possibly ruined. You know, then you say, is it worth it? Was it worth it? You know, who knows? And you know what? Possibly it was easier for them to do that. I'm talking about the brothers. It was easier for them to do that because it was not their natural father. It was a stepfather. So that probably took some emotion out of the equation, right? Hey, Victor, the defense can try to use that, but a jury should be made of one's peers. Yeah, I get it. It should be. It should be. But how do you pick a jury for this? Do you have any lawyers or judges watching right now? I'd love to ask. I want to ask. I know one I can ask tomorrow. Like, what do you do in this kind of situation? But yeah, so anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this, definitely. And the other thing I discussed yesterday was the case of Marisa Leal, candidate for BISD, board member, and a judge pointed in her favor. She was contending that there were a lot of votes that just came out of nowhere, like at the last minute, giving her opponent, Minerva Peña, more time. She was able to come up with 8 votes came out of nowhere. So Marisa filed a lawsuit, and investigation began. And the judge he eliminated 24 votes. And somebody asked me, well, why were they eliminated? I said, well, it's because the signatures didn't match. Here, at least in Cameron County, probably in Texas, when you vote, you got to show your ID. They look you up. You have to sign the line to prove that you were there voting, and then they eventually, should it come up, they look for that signature to match your original registration card. So, and signature, for the most part, I think there were other issues with other votes and voters, but the main thing was that signatures did not match. Hilda, sad part is the boys are going to come out of prison worse than they went in. Yeah, probably so. Hey, Linda. Nice to see you. Yeah, it's not going to be good for those kids if they're 18, but it doesn't mean they're men, right? They're still kids. Oof, yeah, definitely going to follow that one. And impossible votes don't just show up at 3 a.m. Never happened. Yeah, I know. Well, the judge sided in Marisa's favor. He said, nope, these votes are illegitimate. And now we're back to square one. So her opponent, Minerva Peña, can either bow out, let it be, and turn the seat over to Marisa. That's what should happen. It's not likely to happen, though. Mrs. Peña doesn't seem like that kind of person, because she's got other problems also. And the other option is for her to appeal. And of course, if she wants to appeal it, it's going to cost her $30,000, roughly, ballpark. And this is something that needs to be paid to the court up front, not, $100 a month, Rent-A-Center style. And the other problem is just let it be, and the judge has ordered to reach a new election, and that's going to happen in May. So that means they both get the campaign all over again. So curious to see what Mrs. Peña decides to do, because things are not looking good for her right now. She's involved in an issue of nepotism. She was arrested for, and she helped a family member. In this case, it was her sister-in-law, her daughter-in-law, and that got turned into another mess because that daughter-in-law, once this all came out, there was a question of a suicide, and the husband, who was a federal worker, apparently she used the husband's weapon. So, and this whole thing kind of just got swept under the rug. It kind of disappeared and wasn't talked about anymore after the first week or so. So, congratulations to Marisa Leal. She'll be campaigning again. Somebody who is straight up legit. I think she'd be a good board member. I think all the shadiness that went on in the Minerva Peña camp, I'm sure will be brought to light, and everyone can make their decision again. But I think, honestly, the wise thing to do would be for Minerva Peña to just step down and bow out gracefully at this point. That'd be the right thing to do, because there's a lot of shadiness going on there, and if she wants it to come out public, well, then that's going to happen. And it may come out anyway, right? Besides the new special election between Leal and Peña, do you think Minerva Peña is guilty of voter fraud? I don't know if she's guilty of it in a sense that she had her hand in things, but she was somehow involved, and I think she looked the other way on certain things. The main thing is the main thing is that there was some kind of shadiness going on, and that shadiness was signatures. The people who originally registered to vote, the original voter registrants were not the people who actually came out to vote. That's what it's looking like. So, and I don't know what it takes, what kind of involvement she would have to have in that for this to be considered that, yeah, she was involved and she did it. But if it's any slight little bit, then I guess you're either involved or you're not, right? It's like you're not kind of pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. So, does anyone really expect Peña to walk away? I know it's been said nobody expects her to. And she's that arrogant from what I understand. This is from what people tell me. I don't know her personally. But men and women have told me, people who have worked with her, that she's very arrogant. And she thinks that was told her shit don't stink. All right? So I think she's in too much of a mess where she really should just bow out. She really should just walk away. That's what I think. Manny behind the mic looks 300% more HD and you too. Hey, what's up? Thanks, Abel. Yes, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. But appreciate it. With votes that magically appearing in the middle of the night of the election in Peña's favor, who could bring charges of voter fraud against her? County, yeah. And they could bump it up, I imagine, but initially it'll be county. And there was, so as of right now, it's a judge threw out 24 votes, and there's an additional 16 to 24, I'll say, somewhere in that range, additional votes that are going to be requested be thrown out also. So this, even though he has ruled, it's not over yet. There's a lot more there in the mix. Yes, he does. Yep. Thank you. So yes, that's the little drama going on here. Other drama, the Omicron variant seems like it's dying off, right? And I posted one earlier that there's a new variant. It's called a subvariant. Geesh, a subvariant. And I wasn't kidding when I said it's not fake news. There's a subvariant. Was it P82? I forget what it's called. I'm going to look it up right now. It's on my story. If somebody wants to look it up, it's on the story. And, I don't know. Is this going to be a thing still forever? Is it going to be a constant issue where we're going to have variants come out back to back to back to back? Somebody, Juan Carlos, maybe Peña can share a cell with Sylvia Atkinson. Wouldn't that be something? The same prison. If it did get that far, I don't know. I think by the time Minerva Peña got through the entire justice system and things happened, I don't know. Sylvia might be on her way out already, believe it or not. Yeah. Maybe it just seems like it's dying off. It's stealthy. Yeah, they called it stealthy. Let's see. I got it right here. Oh yeah, there it is. It's called subvariant BA.2, BA.2. That's the new one. That's the one that they're saying is they found it. I've forgotten what countries or whatever. Yeah, do you remember? I had Kevin on. Kevin was a friend of mine. He works for the airline, and his wife was sick. She almost died one night. They needed to get her to a hospital, and they had to put her on an airplane. And they finally got her into a hospital, and he came up with the question, like, how come all these variants are never found? Like, they never originate here in the U.S. They always originate in some other country. What's up with that? That was a good question. Hey, Jake. My thoughts are let them out. Comos are not people. Comos deserve the wood chipper. Wood chipper, yeah, kind of like Fargo. Remember Fargo? Way at the end, dude put his buddy in the wood chipper. He was trying to get away with gross, but 100% agreed. It doesn't matter what variant it is. It's still COVID-19. Just imagine a variant that mutates, and that's more lethal. Yeah, that's what they're saying. They don't know about the lethality of, what do they call it? I already forgot. BA. Dang it. Yeah, BA.2. Subvariant BA.2. And this is real. I posted the article a little while ago. I'm not making it up. And it seems like somebody wants to just keep on. I don't know. Is this just a natural fluke? Does this stuff just keep coming out on its own? It keeps mutating on its own? Why does it mutate? How does it mutate? Who what is it? Too many questions. Too many unanswered questions to bring up. Then you got Fauci, who's making money off of this stuff. All of this stinks to high heaven. All of it. Sean, I no longer care to hear about COVID. Do what you do to avoid any illness and live your life. Amen. Go out and do your thing. Go do groceries, go shopping, go to the mall, go to dinner, lunch, breakfast, gatherings with your family, go to work. Yeah. Just wash your hands, stay away from people that are coughing and sneezing. Something is out there, and some people are more susceptible than others. It doesn't mean everybody's going to get it and die. Every time there's an infection, a positive, it's in the news. 1,000 positive cases. Like, so? How many of those you think are false positives? Oh, I bet you it's a lot. I mean, even pro sports, football, NFL say, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. Even the NFL. Every virus mutates, every single one. Yeah, I know it sucks. Hey man, I got my eye health COVID-19 rapid test. I believe it's made in China. Of course it is. Did anybody order? Did anybody order your rapid test from the post office? I put the link out there a few shows ago. Find it again. I'm just wondering, did any of you guys order that yet? And there it is, free at-home COVID test. So when you order this thing, here, I'm going to put the link here in the comments, all right? That's where you can order it if you want to order it. Hi, Rose. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing good. Now we have not. Okay. Yeah, there it is. I put the link in the comments. That's how you order your rapid test. It's free. You get 4 tests. Which one it is, I don't know. Are they made in China? That'd be so... That's I don't even think I would even use it because of the fact that it's made in China. You know, but we use things from China every day, right? It's not the people themselves, right? I don't have a problem with the people of China. And I use their products every day. Some of the things I order, you know, if anybody of you know who need custom, the masks, but they're custom printed, with your logo or whatever, I can get those. I order those. I design those. And yes, they come from China. Because in China, from China, we're going to pay $1.25 for them each. That's what your cost will be. Here in the States, they're going to cost $7 or $8 a piece. That's on the cheap side. So it's hard not to continue doing business there. I get it. I totally get it. Juan Carlos, it's not just Fauci making money. Those idiots, Rand Paul and Marjorie Taylor Greene, countless other congressmen inside the trade. Yeah, that should be made. Somebody said, who? Where did I see that? The way in pro sports they can't bet on each other. They can't bet on their own games. Well, that should be the same way. They cannot. That is insider information. I mean, a lot of these people know before anybody else what's going on, what the deals are, what the up and coming companies are. And they take their 50 grand, 100 grand, and they dump money into it. And then in 6 months, they're millionaires. How freaking fair is that? Linda, yes, I ordered. It's probably in my mailbox. Are you going to test right away or are you going to wait? Are any of you curious? Just a test? See what happens, even though you feel fine and you don't have any symptoms. Never have. Are you gonna test? Would you test just a test? Is it CCP? Yep. 100%. Yeah, I ordered them. Unscientific testing and experimentation will commence in 10 to 14 days. Yeah, I've had sniffles the last couple days, and today I felt a little bit. I didn't feel well, so I just took a nap. Woke up, felt just fine. I'm hoping it was just allergies, right? Morning, it's been very humid the last couple days, all the rain. Hopefully it's just that. Blame the big pharma because they make it in China to save costs while big executives reward themselves. But yeah, that's a never-ending game right there. Never-ending game. Pay the executives the millions and millions, $5 million bonus times how many executives there are. And the little people at the bottom who are doing all the hard work and show up and they get sick and can't make a living, they're only getting paid $10 or $12 an hour. And, there are some jobs where, it's not meant for you to live off of necessarily. And other professions or trades where, you're going to make a lot more money. I think starting in 6th grade and up, there should be more of an effort to drive students, the kids, to, the whole "what do you want to be when you grow up" thing. Well, there needs to be more done to help them make a decision, help them to, let's see what kind of field would they naturally fall into, and there's got to be a reason for it, and push them that way. It was only up to a few years ago where I wanted to, like, man, I should have gone to law school. But back then, nobody ever said that. Plus, I wasn't ready for it necessarily. I went to college right out of high school, and I wasn't ready for that either. I was not a good college student. I wasn't. Even though what I went for was good. I went, Columbia College in Chicago for sound engineering. I could design a recording studio real quick. And even, record a band, do the sound for a live band, that kind of thing, or for a DJ. All that sound, setting up the speakers and making it sound good, make everything sound good, I can do that. But later in life, I would have loved to have gone to law school. I should have gone back. Life gets in the way. Should have gone to law school. And there's so many things that kids are naturally good at, that you can look and you can find things that they would be good at. Career day or whatever. I think there has to be more the career day kind of thing, but definitely more than just, somebody's dad coming up talking for 5 minutes. There's got to be more than that. There's got to be more than that. Rose, they sent my grandson with COVID tests. I used one just to see, because I wasn't feeling good, but it was negative. Oh, okay. So if you suspect, are you going to use it? Yeah, like that. I don't know if I would. Capitalism system doesn't always benefit the working middle class. I don't know. And it's there for everybody to take advantage of. Credit. Your credit is part of capitalism. And if you handle your credit right from a young age, handle it right, you can use that to your advantage in the capitalistic system. But then people mess up their credit and they make mistakes with it early on. And then, it's not fair to say, oh, the capitalistic system messed me up. It's not necessarily that. I don't know, where I went to school, the dude, the aptitude evaluations to help kids move along a likely path or change study habits to reach your goal. It's a great program. Yeah, I remember we had that, but they only do it like one time. I took one of those once. So I think more needs to be done, definitely. More needs to be done. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night. Just wanted to chit chat about that. I'll have more on the Marisa Leal, Minerva Peña situation with the votes. As soon as I have more information on that, I'll come back with that as well. Oscar, have gone to YouTube and checked out Kid Rock's new release song, We the People. I bet that band loves it. Great. Is that the one where he yells, let's go Brandon or something like that? I heard. Yeah, and I heard it rips into Pelosi or somebody. Yeah, I heard it was. Have yet to check it out, but I'll do that tonight. Oops. Good night. Thank you for the Insomniac for the company. Hey, everyone. Thanks for hanging out for me for a little bit. Rose, good night. I'll be back on Thursday evening. We've got the Camille Leitner Playhouse coming up next week, February something. I'll get the date and I'll let you know when that happens. They got a new promotion, production coming up. And I'm working on a couple other discussions like we've had the other night. If there is something you guys would like for me to discuss or bring up, drop me an inbox and let me know. We'll gladly look it up and bring it up as a topic. Jennifer, what's up? You're up late there. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube page, do me a favor, go over there, hit the subscribe. And I would appreciate that. Same thing for Facebook, hit the like button. And I will see you guys on Thursday. There might be an early show, an early and a late one. Probably 7 o'clock and a 10:30. So look out for that. Miss you too, Jen. Let me know if something can be done. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. All right, Oscar. Everyone, have a great night. Sorry for the delay in starting off. And I'll see you in a couple days.